This is Two Speed Reviews, and we're going to review the latest Pirates of the Caribbean film. And Katie has views, so I think we'll start with her.
It was really bad. It was really bad. It wasn't about anything. You know, there's like a love timeline and there's a fatherhood timeline, but it's not about anything. And, you know, there's two basically orphaned children, but it doesn't develop their feelings about it. It doesn't develop their, the challenges they have to face as orphans. It just gives them kind of a starting point, so they've got a vague motivation, so the rest of the film happens. I really thought it was very, very poor writing.
Yep, I was so on this film. The phrase that was going through my head was less than a sum of its parts.
Yeah.
There are some bits of that film that are really, really good.
Anytime that Javier...
Yes, the villain, Salazar.
Anytime that actor is on screen, he was fantastic and captivating and brilliant. And emotional and real and character arc and brilliant. But it wasn't on enough.
Yeah, the action set pieces were top notch, really fun. The main hero, I guess you could call him, the son of Orlando Bloom's character from the last set of films, I quite liked in a D'Artagnan sense, in that he's young and he's brash and he's an idiot, and the film treats him like an idiot. They're like, he's a courageous idiot, and he never succeeds exactly as he intends to, but he does always succeed. And the only thing that was lacking with this is there didn't feel like a character arc to him.
Yeah.
He didn't mature and realise, oh yeah, I'm screwing things up all the time, aren't I?
There was zero character arcs. Zero. The female character had no character arc except suddenly she believed in ghosts and she didn't believe in science anymore, and she abandoned all of her principles and all of her scientific methodology, which was dumb. And Jack Sparrow is just this horrible character that I don't even know why we're on screen with. Do you know what I mean? Like, anytime he was on, I was just like, I don't care. The thing is, the drunk thing, the cool thing has got boring. If you've got nothing to hold on to, no humanity to hold on to, no morality to hold on to, then it's just totally unwatchable. We don't want to watch horrible people. Do you know what I mean? It comes to a point where it's just unwatchable. And he had no character arc. He didn't develop at all.
Yeah, I did actually remark to Katie during the film, and I don't usually talk to things in the cinema, so you can know it's bad. I was laughing quite uncontrollably at a relatively unfunny scene, because all of the pirate characters are horrible to each other.
Yeah.
Which made me laugh because for the first time the pirates are actually villainous.
Yeah.
But that's a problem because they are the heroes.
Yeah. And I wanted Salazar to win and he didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, because he was captivating, he had good motives, he had a character arc, he had reflection. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Be them pirates. And the pirates, they were horrible to each other, which is kind of good in a way because pirates were horrible people throughout history, but including current times. But there was no struggle. There was no understanding of why they're horrible, and there was no camaraderie. There was nothing.
Yeah, talking about things I liked. I really liked the design for the villain Salazar. I really liked his ship. I liked his curse. The way he's set up as a villain is really good. It's nice as well that they're addressing the Spanish Caribbean. Obviously, you don't get to go to the Spanish Caribbean, but that would be too nice and easy. But it's still good to see that.
Yeah. Speaking on the subject, I would have liked it if there were more Spanish in it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't understand why the captain didn't speak to his crew in Spanish. I would have liked that as a little bilingual touch because we don't get enough languages in Hollywood, and it would have been good to have a little bit of subtitles, you know.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Also, it's a film that's set in the Caribbean, and I noted one black actor who had about 2 lines.
I saw 2.
Who had about 2 lines between them, right?
There is one big problem with the whole film. Is its lack of diversity. There are very few black characters. There's the one woman, and they ruined her.
She was awful.
There's also actually there's more than one woman. It's just they the other one is an actual witch.
And she's a plot device.
Yeah.
She's just a plot device. She's literally she could be a map, and it would be equally good.
So, yeah, there's some big problems with this film. Really massive, huge, gaping
And
problems.
I just feel like the writers just thought, let's make money, or let's make this film. And it's just that usually when you have a bad piece of work, the writers are still trying to communicate something. You know, like there's been other Pirates of the Caribbean films where they've been trying to address, you know, the end of pirates, you know, British Empire, or the romanticizing of pirates. This film is, I think it's trying to be about fatherhood, but it really didn't express anything.
I'll tell you what, though, I did actually prefer this film as a sequel to Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, the very first one, 2003, is my favourite. I hated the two sequels they made. I didn't watch the third sequel, the fourth film, at all, because I was just done with it. But this one, I felt... It felt actually like, if you could imagine, stereotypical Disney sequel to the first film, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a very similar curse, similar adventure, but it's lacking the heart and character that made the first one good. This means that the good bits are really good. The action scenes, the sets, the costumes, that all is good. Bits of the characters are good, but as a whole, it's on a very wobbly foundation.
And also, I was bored throughout. I was
really
genuinely bored. Like, at any moment, I thought, I want to go to the loo, and there's nothing stopping me from just leaving, and maybe not even coming back for half an hour. Because no one had any drive, so why would I? You know?
Yeah, I think one of the film's biggest flaws is the character of Karina. Her storyline is probably the closest thing to an arc in the film, and it's bad.
It's a bad arc.
It is bad. Her character is a plot device. She moves things forward. She's got a sort of Daisy Ridley in Rey from Star Wars. She's got that sort of drive.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how people call that character a Mary Sue, even though she isn't a Mary Sue? This character is.
Yeah.
Karina in the new Pirates of the Caribbean is the Mary Sue that people claim Rey from Star Wars is. It's a serious problem.
Bad. And also the domestic violence is a real issue. It's not okay, it's not progressive to have a woman hitting a man. And it sets a bad role model, because I know women who have hit men and they don't think it's a big deal because it's in TV and media, and they think it's fine because... And it makes women seem even weaker. You know, you can't cause physical damage, so it's totally fine if you hit men because it doesn't have any impact. Stop making female characters hit men. Or women.
Yeah, there's also there's this ongoing thing where she's sort of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle applied to her capability of doing anything. When it is necessary to save the male heroes, she is strong, she has a plan, she achieves it. When she needs saving, or even sometimes when she doesn't need saving, when the world needs to be saved, send in the men because she's useless.
Send in the men. Oh my god.
It's not a problem inherently, like they've written this terrible... It's not a problem to have a woman be the damsel in distress. That can serve a narrative purpose. But they've tried to have their cake and eat it too. She isn't treated like a damsel in distress. She's not like Elizabeth Swann in the first film, the damsel in distress that learns to be capable. She's just... I'm super capable, super smart, and super weird. No, I need to be saved by men.
Yeah.
And just boop, 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 boop.
Yep. Oh man, it was a bad film. I wouldn't mind so much her being a damsel in distress, or even being one of these flip-floppy, capable, not capable people, so much if she wasn't the only female character. The only female character. And that is the amount of diversity we had.
The plot is fairly simple. There's a big treasure, there's a villain trying to stop you getting the treasure. Vroom! Plot! That's the simple setup, but it doesn't have the polish and the heart that made the first one that had the same similar setup very good. And this is going to sound weird, but I think they're straying from their source material of a theme park ride.
Yeah.
Because the theme park ride is, haha, pirates are fun.
Yeah, to be fair, the moment where I really engaged with the film is when there were two ships firing cannons at each other. I was like, this reminds me of the ride, this reminds me, this is fun!
Yeah.
Pirates, ships, cannons!
And there's a big set piece in a Caribbean town, which I loved, and really, it was sort of the theme park ride taken way above what the theme park ride could ever do, but it was in the spirit. And I think they lost sight of adapting a theme park ride for the silver screen, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know why we had to have... Oh, man, can we just talk about Orlando Bloom's performance for a little bit?
if you like.
I thought it was terrible. I thought it was laughably terrible. I feel like they just gave him the script that morning. He was like, I'm super busy, I'm in Hollywood, but I can shoot for the afternoon. Because he's in one scene. He's in this totally unnecessary scene that actually the plot would be better if we didn't have, because we as an audience would be thinking more questions and we wouldn't have the answers already given to us. Anyway, it's the first scene and he hugs his son and there is no emotional connection. It's like he's just met this kid and he just talks like this, like, listen to my amazing voice. And I really thought it was bad.
Yeah. So, bottom line I think that this is either the sort of film that you want to see in the cinema for the spectacle, because it's not very good for its story. If you want to see something big and bombastic, go see it in the cinema, or wait for when you're super bored watching Netflix.
Yeah, man. Or you're doing something else in the background, or you've got like kids to entertain, like pizza party, put it on, New Year's Day maybe.
Yeah. I would honestly, for me, I would rank it above the two sequels they made to the original film.
I don't know though, because I thought the performance of the woman who played the sea was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to be different, but for me, it's the second best Pirates of the Caribbean film, but it's still way lower. Way lower.
For me, there's Pirates of the Caribbean 1, then there's this Pirates of the Caribbean, which I think is 5, and then there's every other film. That's an exaggeration, but like a lot of other films. Like I really didn't think much of this film.
So yeah. I'd say watch it if you like spectacle. Would you watch it in the cinema again if you were telling people?
If someone was desperate to see it, I'd take them. I did like the 3D sharks. That was cool. I don't think I'd watch it again in the cinema. No.
And I wouldn't, other than, as I said, for the spectacle. Like, the big set pieces are going to look best on the big screen. If you care about the story, wait for Netflix, because it's not worth it. The story is not worth it. So.
It was cool thinking about how they made it. Like when the sharks came out, I was thinking, there were quite a few shots where I was thinking, how on earth, as a person with a camera, do you know what I mean? How on earth did they shoot this? How much is green screen? How much is live? It was interesting to think about, but that's all I got.
Right, so next week we're going to be reviewing the next film. What are our two options?
It's Wonder Woman or Baywatch.
Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. It's going to be tough to choose between those. Honestly, it is. I mean, DC has ruined me.
DC has ruined me, but I think Baywatch could be good, because it could be the level of silly that we're looking for. It could have the heart that this film didn't have.
Don't make me choose!
Also, another reboot. Oh my god, is there nothing original?
Yeah.
This week, Pirates of the Caribbean. Next week, Wonder Woman or Baywatch.
No, Pirates of the Caribbean was not a reboot. It was very, very intertwined with the previous films. I mean, you could watch it going in blind, but you should really not do that. Watch the other films. For a start, they're better.